Welcome to Clear Picture Financial with Jason Noble. Hi, Jason.
Hey,
How are you
Jackie.
doing? Now, I have to ask about your pin today. Which pin are you wearing?
Oh, this is the Disney pin, Jasmine for my daughter Avery. Yeah,
Oh, that's sweet. So she gets to choose what you wear on your YouTube channel?
that's right. So Avery and Ryan, my 9 and 6-year-old, they get to choose what Disney pins I wear. That's for sure.
Right. That's so sweet. I absolutely love it. Now, Jason Noble of Prime Capital Investment Advisors in Charleston at clearpicturefinancial.com if you'd like to reach Jason online. And Jason's, 20 years in the financial business. He's FINRA Series 66, securities licensed, certified financial planner, also retirement income certification, RICP, right? Is that the hardest one to get, Jason?
The retirement income certified professional was definitely, I would say, not a walk in the park, but the CFP was the most challenging because it covers 9 different areas, where the RICP is where you become more focused on retirement income planning.
Gotcha. Well, in other words, you're qualified to capture all of these ideas and put them into one plan for a couple, for single, whoever is looking to get their retirement act together, if you will. Because this Secure Act 2.0 sure did introduce a lot more things. Are you ready to hammer away at some of these ideas?
Yes, let's go into those changes that are coming around the pike.
Okay, good. How about the Roth after-tax contributions to the SEP and the simple IRAs? What is an SEP anyway?
Well, it's a store for SEP, Simplified Employee Plan. And simples, I mean, these are for small business owners. Okay. But what is important now is they could go into Roths, which are, available in 2024. So until now, they all had to be pre-tax. So depending on the business owners, where they are at their income and bottom line revenue and how they structure their business, this could be an impactful savings vehicle for those that this qualifies for. So,
yes.
And now those that are listening, you may not be the employer, you may be an employee, and you are within a simple IRA. That's more popular for those that have more than one employee. But this will be something to talk with your employer about as far as your eligibility to also go into the Roth.
That's really a nice idea because for the smaller employer, more, as you said, more than one employee. I mean, I was surprised that Secure Act 2.0 has so many things that are actually pro retirees. And so I find that one is a really nice one. How about employer matching to the Roth IRA account? That's new too, yeah?
That is new. Is at the employee's option be made as a Roth as far as that contribution is. Now, previously, they had to make that on a pre-tax basis. So the employee, however, pays the income tax on this amount. So be wary of that.
Yes, yes. And what about additional exceptions? The 10% early distribution penalty for withdrawals. So that's kind of a new addition.
Well, there's additional exceptions to if you withdraw money before 59.5, how do you avoid the 10% penalty? So all the other exemptions are still there, but now they include terminal illness, net income attributed to excess contributions, and distributions in the event of a qualified disaster up to $22,000. Okay, I'm just saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Okay.
But you can avoid the 10% penalty, but also be aware that you still got to pay ordinary income taxes on that amount. And what does that mean to your overall financial future if you're taking these assets out of the plan prematurely? Yes, you had the situation arise, but that's why we have conversations around emergency savings and other assets so that you don't have to pull from these accounts. But it's nice to know that they're available if you need them.
If you need them. What's a qualified disaster, do you think? Because the flood, hurricane, things of this nature, is that what they're saying?
I think so, Jackie. I mean, as far as getting into what does a qualified disaster mean? That's a question for the accountant.
Right.
Unless you want to
But
read the Internal Revenue Code.
right, which we're not doing today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But that is to your point of that's why you need a cash reserve, a bucket, right, of emergency funds
That's correct.
in case you know of a true emergency or you lose your job or anything else. Now, also in the 2.0 is the RMDs, the penalty for RMDs. This has changed.
Yes. So if you did not take the correct amount for your required minimum distribution, so let's say that was you need to take $50,000 and you didn't do it, it used to be a 50% penalty.
Oh,
so that
wow.
reduced down to 25% under the Secure Act 2.0. So that was already reduced. And then even down to 10% if corrected within a quote unquote timely manner.
Okay.
The window for correction is 2 years from the end of the year in which the RMD should have been taken. In addition, you can request a waiver of any penalty at the time of the IRS by taking the RMD now and filing the form 5329 within a reasonable cause explanation. This is where working with a qualified financial advisor and an accountant comes into play, that they're working in conjunction with you for, first off, don't miss it.
Right.
like Jackie, what I'm saying here is if we're reaching out to our clients and for whatever reason they're not answering, which doesn't happen very often. Usually people answer when the advisor is managing their money, calls them, right? But let's say it doesn't. Well, by December 20th, we're sending out that money to their bank without their confirmation. That is a better action to take than to explain to them on January 1st, hey, you got to pay a 25% penalty, but we could lower that down to 10 because of our inept attitude and our lackadaisical approach into your financial plan. Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you rather get a check in the mail, call your advisor like, why did you send me this check? Yes, we did that so we could save you a 25% penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, we left you 3 voicemails and we sent 2 emails. Is everything okay?
Right. You didn't respond. What in the devil is going on?
Yeah. So how do you avoid this one? Is take your RMDs or do your qualified charitable distribution.
Jason, we have time to talk about this statute of limitations has now been created, right? Limiting the period that the IRS can impose a penalty. This is part of the 2.0 Act too.
Yeah, well, the statutes of limitations is now 3 years for missed RMDs and 6 years from the tax filing deadline of the year in which the excess contribution was made. Previously, there was no statute of limitations. I'll tell a quick story here. I came across, I was working with this client and they were making really good income and they were not allowed to make direct contributions into the Roth. So in the first year that I'm working with them, they wanted to make a Roth IRA contribution directly. And I was like, well, you have a great problem. You can't do it directly because you make too much. We could look at other choices like a backdoor Roth conversion and things of that nature. She goes, what do you mean? My advisor had me making Roth IRA contributions over the last 5 years.
Uh-oh.
I go, okay, let's pause this conversation. Let's call your prior firm and let's start getting some information. Also, I need you to send me your last 5 years of tax returns. So what I was looking at is over those 5 years, was she also in excess of her income to even make these contributions?
Oh, dear.
The answer was yes. And the excess contribution penalty was 2% of what's excess. And then you had to also take out the returns. So this was a big deal. We had to do some accounting. So we had to get an accountant involved and everything else in between. Now, she was still within the 5 years, but under this regulation, it's now saying that the limitation is now 6 years. So if that client was in this situation, I would still have a fiduciary obligation to bring it to their attention and get it addressed. But what if I found this issue and it was something that they made a mistake on, or there was something that happened and it was 10 years ago? I would still bring it to their attention, but I'll go, you're past the statute now.
I see.
So still let your accountant know, but you're past the statute. The IRS really can't do anything at this
Wow.
point.
Right. Do you want to do a real quick roundup here, Jason, before we give the phone number again about what folks can expect on their first meeting with you?
Well, the most important thing is, I think what's going on too much in this industry is advisors are saying, give me your money, good luck with everything else. This is where we start. And this is the difference that we provide. This is why we were ranked as the top 100 advisor in the entire country. Only one on that list to represent South Carolina.
And that's
it's because we focus on all these other things, Jackie.
Yes.
We focus on taxes. We want to make sure that you have income streams that last you throughout your retirement. We also want to make sure that we're focusing on risk, using index-based approaches that provide downside protection with upside potential, so to help people navigate the complexities of this environment that we're in.